Drake London finished wide receiver 36 last year, 72 receptions, 117 targets, 866 yards, 4 tutties, averages 6.9 targets per game. Thoughts on Drake London?
I think you see London creep up in probably wide receiver 27, 26. Like you might see him squeak into just barely wide receiver 2 category. I'm just not convinced that the Falcons are going to throw the ball all that much. And because Drake London, you have Kyle Pitts, but you can bracket both of them if you're really wanting to and just daring them to beat you with someone else. So I think that's part of the reason they like Bijan is because he does help keep them honest. That safety is going to be in the box instead of bracketing Pitts. But with Drake London, nevertheless, you can double team him and kind of take him out of the picture at times if he starts to beat you. But some of that chemistry was there at the end of the year. I did like what I saw, right? So it's how does Ritter develop in the offseason, what he's able to do. I think touchdowns are going to be the limiting factor. I think London's probably only going to see the end zone, 4 times in that offense. So then it's 4, does he get to 1,100 yards? 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns on 85 receptions? I mean, it's plausible, but I don't think it's likely. And you need all that to be in that wide receiver 2 category. Like 1,100 yards and only 4 touchdowns does not do that. Like it's a tough ask. So I like London. I like him as a wide receiver 3 as a flex play. It's not that I'm out on him, but I do want Drake London in the right spot. And I feel like I have appropriate expectations for what this season for him is going to be as they develop Desmond Ritter and figure out what they have in Bijan.
He is a great piece in best ball as far as redraft week to week. I don't know that I want that headache. I think there are other serviceable wide receivers that I think are going to be more consistent that I would rather look at.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of guys coming off the board even later than him that I would rather go, right? Like he's kind of coming off the board, wide receiver 23 right now. I think he's going to have an incredibly difficult time living up to that draft capital. And when you look at some of the guys coming off the board just a little bit later than him, Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver 24, I think we see him have a better season than Drake London this year. Calvin Ridley, a guy coming back there. Like Calvin Ridley is a guy that I think has a lot of kind of sneaky upside here. Coming off the board, wide receiver 27. Mike Williams coming off the board, wide receiver 29. Mike Evans even is a guy coming off the board, wide receiver 32. I think I'd rather go with some of those other guys than have to draft Drake London where he's coming off the board at.